Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. I'm back with another throwback Time Wizard format deck profile. Today, it's actually going to be, again, we're still in critter format as far as like the progression. And today, we're actually going to be dealing with the deck I'm actually going to keep from this series. So let's get Time Wizard up out of here. So for everybody, this is like mid 2002. This is between like July and I want to say it was maybe October before the next ban list. And so this is my Exodia deck. And again, one of the reasons why I didn't play Exodia during the Yugi Kaiba format is, again, like there was just a huge threat in the form of card destruction. And card destruction absolutely just tossed Exodia to the wind. And as soon as Exodia was limited to one, it just wasn't worth playing anymore. Right up until they released the Metal Raiders set. So, again, give you guys the quick deck list. What we're going to need. You're going to need 5 pieces of Exodia. Again, I got a mostly common set. Didn't get a common head for this one. Whatever. It'll be fine. Obviously, this is our win con. As soon as you get all 5 of these in your hand, you're good. Not much has changed there. We're going to have a pretty good defender in the form of Giant Soldier of Stone. Now, a lot of players just played like 2-2Ks back then. I am going to split it up and kind of spread it around a little bit. I think Giant Soldier of Stone is the best defensive option in this format for a vanilla 2K. And again, it comes down to what I said in like the original Legend of Blue Eyes stuff. It all comes down to that 1300 attack. If he does get forced, like some people would still play like stop defense. If he does get forced out of defense mode, like he's not terrible. If you do have to push for game damage and stuff, you'd much rather have this over the, I want to say again, Aquamador should have been around like 11 or 1200. Magician of Fate, Spirit of the Harp, both around 8s. I think Prevent Rat came out in Metal Raiders, should have been somewhere around like 500. So Giant Soldier Stone, honestly, 1-star level less, but like in a class of his own. Cool things that we were allowed to do. 3 copies Magician of Fate. So again, you got this as soon as Metal Raiders came out. Should have been like a regular rare at the time period. So this should have been 5 ultras, 3 commons / reg rares. These should have been regular rares. Flip, target a spell card in your graveyard, add it back to your hand. Pretty awesome, especially since, you know, all the big good things for Exodia. Like Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed went down to 1. Swords went down to 2. Dark Hole and Raigeki for like the defensive options both went down to 1. Just is a thing. Wanted to keep it going with some more flip effects, so I got the Maneater Bugs. Again, these guys were like super rare in the first set. I think they were common in the Yugi starter deck. Again, you just flip, you destroy 1 monster card on the field. One of the monsters that the format's named for, Sangan. Again, since this is a Time Wizard build in the Critters format, we have to play Sangan as he existed back then, not the way he exists now. So all you need to know is if this goes from field to grave, you get to add from deck to hand 1,500 points of attack or less. Any monster, just sort of like show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, whatever. And again, this is going to be good stuff. On the other side of this Wall of Illusion, we'll talk about the Witch in a second, but like the Wall of the Illusions, definitely my go-to secondary defensive card. And it's just because battle tricking was still a thing right here. You'd still see things like reinforcements happening. So people would be testing your walls. They'll have things like Lajin, which again, Lajin normally is going to lose this interaction by 50 points and then still bounce. So again, it's good because we'll undo a tribute summon, whether it's Summon Skull or Judgment was the other big popular option at the time. Any of the 4 stars tend to bounce off of this. There's a couple 4 stars that do break this right now because it is Metal Raiders, and those are going to be like your Dark Elf, your Jirai Gumo. And again, they come with their own set of like restrictions or limitations to them, whether it's life pay or the potential pay half your life of the Jirai Gumo. So again, you still see a lot of Battle Ox. You still see a lot of Near the Magic Swordsman. Lajin's still around. 7-Colored Fish is going to start doing some stuff. and Wall of Illusion is going to be there. It's just going to help make it to where they have to like replay cards. So it makes it harder for them to obtain and maintain that type of board state. And then last for my monsters is 2 Witch of the Black Forest. And again, this is Sangan in reverse. So Sangan goes based off of the attack stat, Witch of the Black Forest is going to go based off the defense stat. It's still 1,500 or less, and we'll add that directly from the deck to the graveyard. So just in the fact that we have like those, and we have Monster Reborn available technically 4 times if you look at the Magician of Faith, it means that we should relatively always end up with an Exodia. The odds are just more in our favor this format. Going into spells, I still play like the 1 Change of Heart. I don't know that this was good. This is just like something I do. Sometimes like it just works. Cannon Soldier was really popular in this time period. So if you're finding an issue getting an outlet to get rid of Witch of the Black Forest, or you need an outlet to get rid of Sangan, Change of Heart really did help. So like it feels weird to play it in this deck, but like in the time period, the common it was just common practice. People played Cannon Soldier more. So being able to tap into your opponent's card, grab that, go into these, it was good. Dark Hole, obviously, we're going to play it defensively. Major MVP card here, Last Will. And this is probably why I always consider this to be like a Power 9 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it didn't get printed a whole lot. So we never got the problem-solving text or anything like that. And this pairs off super well with, the Dark Hole, being able to change a heart into Cannon Soldier, things like that. So the way the Last Will works is you play Last Will, and then if one of your monsters leaves field and goes to the graveyard, you get to special summon from the deck 1 monster 1,500 points or less attack to the field. So what you could do is you could maybe you've already got like a Witch, maybe you got a Sangan on the field, you could summon another one, whatever. Change a heart, take that Cannon Soldier, play Last Will, and then sack a Witch, get a Witch, and then, of course, obviously, Witch's effect resolves. Nab an Exodia piece, do the same thing to the next Witch, nab an Exodia piece, get rid of the Sangan, nab an Exodia piece. Again, it should put you in a pretty good situation to where that could be the end of the game. Other good one-ups, you got Monster Reborn, obviously. Pot of Greed, you can't go anywhere without a draw 2 in that time period. Raigeki, you just definitely want to make sure that your opponent's field isn't overbearing. Double Swords of Revealing Light. Again, you can consider this to be 5 Swords of Revealing Light. You guys got 3 Magicians of Faith in this deck. Recycle it. There is one card you might want to watch out for, and it's going to be Heavy Storm in this time period. Heavy Storm got preemptively placed onto the restrictions at 2. But then again, we understand it is the Dark Hole of spell traps. So it was just very good. And obviously eliminating a back row, not as terrible as eliminating the front row. But still, it was a time period thing. Moving into the traps, we are going to play the 1 Mirror Force because that's what we're allowed. We are going to play the MVP of the deck, like the other MVP. You're going to play 3 copies Solemn Judgment. Of course, we all know this. This card's been great since like day 1. When a monsters would be summoned, when a spell or trap would be activated, pay half your life. Go ahead, negate that action and destroy the card. Or I guess cards if it was monsters being summoned. And again, this is perfect. So the reason that you want to run the Solemn Judgment is, and again, I've got this one still sitting here. You want to be able to just take out the card destruction, because again, card destruction is an absolute death sentence for this deck in this time period. And again, like we've got the 3 Magicians of Faith. Technically, our opponents could have that too. They could technically have like 5 card destructions, and they could be coming after your Exodia really well. So again, one of the things that I do is like I would side deck in like things like Mask of Darkness, just to go ahead and recycle some traps. Rest of my traps, pretty simple stuff. You're still going to rock 3 trap holes, because again, especially if you do like the Wall of Illusion, you might lose to the Summoned Skull. Your opponent's going to play it back. They're going to fall into the trap hole. Or again, with all the aggressive monsters, Battleox, Neo, Seven Colored Fish, Lojin. Yeah, Trap Hole's going to stall them out. That's basically the goal. And then we're just going to round it out with Wabaku. Again, you don't want to do Wabaku on the turns where you're trying to resolve Witch and Sangan. Because the way that this works, you make all battle damage inflicted by monsters on your opponent's side of the field 0. Later on, we would get like some problem-solving text because again, this is like fairly early copy. Monsters don't take damage either, so if a monster would be overwhelmed, like a summoned skull attacking that wall of illusion, or maybe it's a Lojin with a reinforcements doing the same thing, the Wabaku makes it so that we don't lose the wall of illusion. So this is fun. This is yeah, it's probably the deck I'm going to end up keeping from this time period for the critter format. And again, it's fun. It's always good when you can play an Exodia deck and just do some goofy stuff. Again, we were play testing earlier. I got the same deck here in my regular sleeves. And 95% of the time, I was able to overcome other decks that we're using from the time period right now during playtests. So it did its job and secured its spot in my arsenal forevermore. Guys, if you enjoy this, go ahead, throw a like, comment, sub. If you guys don't like this, let me know in the comments. I mean, obviously. We do have a loot report coming up soon. We do have Harpies coming out. I think Celestial's planning the deck video now because she took my cards and ran off. And as we get further into October, I have some zombies in the mail right now. Hopefully they get here before the beginning of next week. And we can kind of make this into Spooktober and give you guys some haunted deck profiles. So till next time, my friends, do the stuff and enjoy yourself and have a nice day. Hope to see you next time. Later.